2016, I was serving as the executive pastor here, and just based upon our growth and really the vision of our church, as I knew I needed help. So I went to our senior pastor and said, hey, here's I think a solution that's going to help us in 5 to 10 years. And Ryan was very open about it. And he's a high capacity leader, so he understood. And so he told me, he said, well, this would be your partner. Go find him. And so that led me to pick up the phone and call Vanderbloemen. I love some of their core values of rapid responsiveness. I love to be able to call or email or text and I get something right back instead of waiting for days, and I felt like the customer. And so David came in and he had a process, which of course had been proven in a lot of churches, but he didn't dictate that to us. He allowed whether myself, Pastor Ryan, and some of other staff to weigh in on that, how we see fit. He knew that this hire was important for us. And so that process began with a phone call and then their discovery process. And they presented 5 candidates to myself, our senior pastor, Ryan Rush, and great men, great quality, character, integrity, but none of them were the right fit. And what I really appreciate is David didn't force it. He didn't say, well, what do you think about this guy? He listened to us. He knew that this hire was probably the most important hire in 10 or 20 years for our church. So we had to get it right. So he said, okay, can I have the chance to go back and to our database and make a few more phone calls? And he did. And then he came back on Monday, so just a couple of days later after the weekend, and he had 2 more candidates. And out of those 2 candidates, we knew Todd was the one.
I was serving most of my life in the Southeast, in churches in the Southeast. And during a time I'd served 13 years at a church in the Memphis area. And I went through a divorce. And that sort of paused the opportunity to be in vocational ministry. I worked for a while in other fields. Eventually started working for the Tennessee Baptist Children's Homes, and really felt like that was probably the closest I was going to be to a church setting because of how that is viewed in many churches. My heart was always to be back in the local church. I just didn't know where that opportunity might arise. And I got a phone call from Vanderbloemen. And the phone call was sharing about a church in Katy, Texas, that was looking for a executive pastor of administration. And I said, well, tell me about the church. And they told me about Kingsland. And I allowed my name to be, put in the mix, and the Lord brought us here. And so that's now been almost 8 years ago. And when we came to Kingsland.
The most expensive thing we have is staff. So let's take care of them. Let's leave them well. Let's take care of their families. And that was the heartbeat of Todd.
Our team had very little turnover in these 8 years. And that comes from everybody has a good understanding of what direction we're going. I feel like it's my responsibility to be a conduit of the resources that God's people have given, and that our team are resourced enough to do their job. Obviously, this is a special place, and it's an honor for me to work here. Being at Kingsland I don't want to be anywhere else. We've hired a lot of folks through Vanderbloemen since I came, and they're all still here.
Vanderbloemen's got a proven process. We've used it for probably 6, 7, 8 searches. And those people that we've used them for are still in our staff, 7, 8, 9 years later. So trust that process and you'll see fruit.